Cognitive psychology. First, we will discuss about the main headings that cover the whole lecture, and then we discuss one by one. So, first one is the stages of cognitive processes. Difference between sensation and perception, how they work together, the steps of problem solving and applications. Cognition psychology is the branch of psychology that studies mental processes, including how people think, precise, remember, and learn. So basically साइकोलॉजी डिपेंड कर रही है मेंटल प्रोसेसेस पे, पीपल कैसे थिंक करते हैं, प्रिसाइज, रिमेंबर एंड लर्न. Cognitions come from the Latin word cognito, meaning to apprehend or to understand. Cognition, a general term including all mental processes by which people become aware of or understand the world. So basically, cognition is aware of or understand the world. In science, cognition is the mental processing that involves the attention of working memory, comprehending and producing language, calculating, reasoning, problem solving, and decision making. Cognitive psychologists argue that individuals do not passively respond to stimuli but actively process information in their brain before responding to the information. They are interested in what happens in the mind between the stimulus and the response. They look at the topics such as perception, memory, thought, language, and attention. So let's move on to the main topic. Stages of cognitive processes. Sensation. It refers to awareness about various stimulus which we encounter in different modalities such as vision, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. So basically we have 5 senses. Various physical energies in environment act on the senses organ. The receptors in them are stimulated, from which nerve impulses are transmitted in the brain. Perception of objects and events are produced when this nerve impulses are processed. B. Attention. Many competing stimuli but only limited capacity, therefore need to focus and select. Number 1. Visual attention based on location and color. Number 2. Auditory attention based on pitch, timbre, intensity, etc. Colors can be a powerful tool to improve user interfaces, but its inappropriate use severely reduces the performance of the system we build. Focus attention. Only one thing can be focused on of attention. Attention focus is voluntary or involuntary. Factor affecting attention focus: meaningfulness, structure of display, use of color, intensity, use of modalities. So we have to read just main topics. And see perception. In case of perception, we process information and make out the meaning of stimuli available to us. For example, we look at the pen and recognize it as an object used for writing. What one perceives depends on selection, organization, and interpretation of stimuli. An individual selectively attend to certain stimuli and not to others. Factor influences perception. Number 1. Function of sense organs. Number 2. Functioning of brain. Number 3. Previous experience. Number 4. Psychological state. Number 5. Interest. Number 6. Motivation. And number 7. Behavior of an organism. Difference between sensation and perception. Sensation can be defined as the perceived process of bringing information from the outside world into the body and to the brain. The process is passive in the sense and that we do not have to be consciously engaging in the sensing process. Perception can be defined as the active process of selecting, organizing, and interpreting the information brought to the brain by the senses. Now, how they work together. Number 1. Sensation occur. Sensory organs absorb energy from the physical stimulus in the environment. B. Sensory receptors convert this energy into neural impulses and send them to the brain. Number 2. Perception follows. The brain organizes the information and translates into something meaningful. D. Learning. It helps us acquiring new knowledge and skills through experience and practice. The acquired knowledge and skills further bring a relative change in our behavior and facilitate our adjustment in varied settings. For example, we learn language, riding a bicycle, and applying mathematical skills to solve various problems. Now we will move on to the main topic, that is the problem solving steps. The steps in problem solving. Number one, identifying the problem, defining the problem, forming a strategy, organizing information, allocating resources, monitoring progress, and evaluating the results. Application cognitive processes. In case we will look on the cognitive processes applied in our daily life, we can try to make a generalization and consider their application for educational. People control their own learning. F. Skinner in 1954 to 1968 argued that the student must make active responses in the classroom if they are to learn anything. Cognitivists share Skinner's view. They emphasize mental activity rather than physical activity. Memory is selective because learner usually receives much information than they possibly process and remember. They must continue making choices about what things to focus on and what things to ignore. Attention is essential for learning. Attention is critical for long-term retention of information. Attention to a particular stimulus is all that needed. Actually, the things that teachers do in the classroom can make a big difference in the extent to which the students pay attention to the topic at hand. Thanks for watching.